Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to our second live stream Stars of Magic event here at the Greg Frewin Theater. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. We got all kinds of magicians from all around the world and a few special guests that are going to join us later on in the show, so don't go away. And don't forget, we're all doing this tonight here live to make sure you guys have a great time in your living room and to help raise awareness for the Niagara SPCA Humane Society. Check it out.
The concept behind the program is that we will drop bags of food or litter at your door, depending on your pet, during these times. You just reach out to us at cet@niagaraspca.com, and we will make sure that we get you some help needed for some food or litter for your animals while they remain at home with their families where they belong. We want to give back to our communities in this time of need. You support us throughout the year, and we just thought we would reach back out into the community and help you folks during these troubling times.
Well, that was great. We're going to hear a little more about the Niagara SPCA Humane Society in a little bit. But right now, we're going to start the show off with a bang. A good friend of mine, John Sharrock. John comes all the way from Tucson, Arizona. How you doing, John?
Hey, Greg. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. Obviously, I miss performing for a live audience, but I have to admit I'm having a wonderful time spending this downtime with my wife and my kids. We're having some great quality family time, which I've really enjoyed.
Well, that's awesome. And John, you have a great gig, and I really admire this. Tell a little bit about where you're working.
Yeah, there is a wonderful club in Lahaina, Maui called Warren and Annabelle's. Warren Gibson opened it some 21 years ago. It's become a really popular attraction in Lahaina, and I started working for Warren about 13 years ago. I probably spend 5 or 6 months a year there doing shows, which is really, really cool. It's an awesome theater. It holds about 80 people, so you do a great close-up show in a real intimate setting. It's really fun. It's been great.
That's cool. And tell us, how did you get started in magic?
Yeah, actually, this is kind of a standard answer. My father gave me a magic set for Christmas when I was 16 years old. And 4 months later, my magic career began. I was working at Chuck E. Cheese doing card tricks for all the kids.
That's cool. Well, John, take it away.
Sure, I'm going to show you my favorite trick in the entire world of magic. This truly is my favorite trick in the entire world of magic. It's also one of the oldest effects in magic. They're actual hieroglyphics of the Egyptians performing this very effect on the pyramids in Egypt, which is where the pyramids are. The trick is called the cups and balls, and it uses cups and balls, which makes sense. But as you'll see from this next presentation, this effect is definitely a classic. I hope you like it. Cups and balls. It's under the cup. Watch for the last one right here. Did you see it? balls make it a little bit easier to follow. One ball.
So start it going.
Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Man, that was awesome. Thanks a lot, John. What a great way to start off our show, and thanks for coming out. Well, we're going to keep the show running, and we're going to move right along to our next act. All the way from Germany, we have the incredible Topaz, and he's a good friend of mine. And let's see if we got Topaz here tonight. How you doing, Topaz?
Hi, Greg. I'm fine. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be part of this.
And thanks for being with us. Tell us a little bit about World's Greatest Magic. We haven't seen each other for a while.
That's very true. It's been a long time. It was the 80s, Greg. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing comedy, stand-up comedy, and magic. Both things. I always did full evening illusion shows. My third illusion show was called Magic Countdown, and I left a clip of Magic Countdown with you. And at the moment, I do sort of a best-of production with a live band, and that one is called One More.
Very cool. And tell us, what's your favorite type of magic?
That's actually a very good question. I always love performing in front of people. I think the reason is, unlike this, it feels very dynamic and natural. I can improvise a little bit. In magic, that's not so easy. In comedy, it's a little bit easier. But I still love performing and getting that energy from an audience. And it's always been very important to me. And it actually is what drives my creativity. When I try and come up with new acts, I think of an audience. But I try to come up with new formats. For example, we do an online quiz show called Fact or Fake. I do it together with Jana Felicitas, who's a great young German magician. And it combines quiz, trivia, is a claim true or false, with some visual magic. It's only 2 minutes long for YouTube, and it's a completely new format. We're having fun with that, so please check it out.
That's cool. And we're going to show you a little video of Topaz while he gets ready. He has to prepare for this next piece, and it's going to be really cool. So check out this video.
Fact or Fake, die Online-Quizshow zum Mitraten.
Jetzt auf YouTube.
Well, that was a little great taste of Topaz. He is ready now, so check it out. Wow, that was amazing. Topaz, what a great magician. Great to have him here. And we still have a lot more show to go, so don't go away. We still have Pip the Magic Dragon, Dan Speery, Shock Illusionist. We have Steve Valentine still to come up. We have my special guest, Lance Burton, in the house tonight. And also my good friend, Mack King. Lots more great magic. Don't go away. But let's move on and get to our next act. This next act is a good friend of mine, and I've known this gentleman for a long time. His name's Murray Hatfield and Teresa, and they're here with us today. How you doing, Murray?
Hey, Greg. It's great to see you, and thanks so much for having us on the show.
Hi, Greg. We're happy, we're healthy, and we're really excited to share some magic with you today.
Well, thanks for being here, guys. And tell us a little bit about your tour that you used to do, Murray.
Well, Magic and Miracles was a large-scale magic variety show that we produced and hosted for 25 years. Every year we would take a cast and crew of around 15 people, and we would go across the country, 5 tons of gear, a tour bus, a truck, and we would do close to 100 shows in 30 or 40 cities in around 6 weeks.
Wow.
The best part was the show raised millions of dollars for Canadian charities. We worked with firefighter associations, shrine clubs, Lions clubs, and money went to things like burn units, hospital equipment, guide dogs for the visually impaired, and a lot more.
In those 25 years, we were honored and privileged to work with some of the world's greatest magicians and variety acts. And one of those was you, Greg.
That's right.
We always had a blast when you were on tour.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Well, that's cool. Well, guys, I hope you can show us something really cool. What are you going to do for us today?
Hey, Teresa, what's that one where there's a bag and you escape?
Bag escape?
That's the one. Let's do it. To start with, we need a bag. I have one right here, but this is not any ordinary bag. This is a very large purple bag. Now, it is large enough for a person to be inside, and it was made with a very long piece of material, twice as long as the bag itself. It was folded over and sewn up each side so that there is a seam. It starts at the top, it goes all the way down the side and all the way down to the bottom. Same thing over on the other side. There's a seam all the way down, but there is no seam in the bottom of the bag, so no place to hide any kind of an opening. Now the bottom of the bag goes here into the bottom of this little curtained enclosure. Now, once we get it straightened out, Teresa, if you would, be so kind as to step into the large purple bag, just like that. Now, I said the bag was big. I wasn't kidding. It goes all the way up over Teresa's head, just like that. We're not going to leave her like that for a second. Let's see and make sure you're okay. You all ready to go?
Yep.
All right, then here's how we do it up. The bag comes over Teresa's head, and I'm going to accordion pleat the 2 sides, just like that. Now, we gather it all together, and this way, Teresa will be sealed right inside of the bag. To do that, we need this, a leather strap with Velcro on both sides. This is going to wrap around the neck of the bag, just like this. That will lock Teresa inside and make it very, very difficult to even try to escape. Now, I don't want Teresa to be able to reach through the material and try and unrip the Velcro. So I brought along a piece of rope. This is going to wrap around here. We simply tie it around the top of the strap, and 1 knot, 2 knots. Impossible now for her to open up the strap. Now, I am going to be here holding on to the top of the bag, the opening, the only opening in the bag. And in order so that we keep her from trying to pull that out of my hand, I'm going to use the excess rope and wrap it around my wrist and hold on here. It's not going anywhere. Now, we need to lift the curtain, and I have some help over here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carson. Can you say hi, Carson? Carson's going to help me out. He's going to bring up the curtain. Let's stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Teresa's in the bag. It's all tied up. We're ready to go. Teresa, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Then let's do it. Go! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you get out of the bag. Now, let's take a look. The ropes are still around my wrist. The knot is still in the rope. The rope is still around the strap. The strap is still Velcroed securely around the neck of the bag. And ladies and gentlemen, the bag, well, let's take a look. The seams still secure. And the other seam over on the other side, that looks good too. And the bottom, no rips, no tears, no openings, no way out. Ladies and gentlemen, that is bag escape.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Murray Hatfield and Teresa. Thanks for joining us today. And what a great act, and we're glad we had him here. Oh, that was amazing. Well, we're going to move right along to my next guest. And this is a special friend of mine. I'm bringing him on here because we are doing this to bring awareness to the Niagara SPCA Humane Society and working with animals. And so I wanted to bring him on. He's all the way from Michigan. His name's John Pullum. Let's see if he's here.
How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing good. How are you, John?
Good, good. Thanks for having me on today.
Hey, no problem, John. Good to see you. Hey, we haven't seen each other in a while. When's the last time we saw each other?
Yes, we've known each other for a long, long time, since I had a full head of hair. I think the last time I saw you, if I remember correctly, was in Japan.
Yep.
I was over there performing and living. My wife is Japanese. We were living there for a while. And we ran in, I think it was,
right.
the...
NHK. Yeah.
When you were performing at the NHK Theater, went over and
That's
saw
right.
you. And since then, I've come back to America. I hosted a couple dozen shows for the Discovery Channel, do a lot of corporate work here for like sales conferences and things. And right now, as everybody is in the world, is just on quarantine here at my home in Michigan and trying to think of other projects and other things to do to keep my mind off of things.
Well, that's great. And you know, I know you work with and rescue a lot of animals. Tell us about that.
I love helping animals. And let me say, what the Niagara SPCA Humane Society is doing for animals in your community and other organizations are doing for animals around the world is simply amazing. Over the years, I've helped so many dogs. I am not affiliated with any one organization. Dogs just seem to find, there's some, you're putting some pictures up.
That's right.
Those are some of the dogs that have ended up in my life in some way or another, most of which I was able to reunite with their owners or they were adopted through the local Humane Society or other things. But I love helping animals, and they really have no voice of their own so we, the Niagara SPCA and other organizations, are there to help these animals. And thank you, the viewers, for donating to these great causes and helping these animals that really don't have a voice of their own.
Yeah, you have some rescue animals of your own.
Yes, I have 3 dogs that are rescue dogs. 2 of them I found on the streets. Another one was a puppy mill rescue that another rescue group got, and I adopted through there. But the one in particular that you probably were referring to is Peanut.
That's correct.
And Peanut is a little dog that I found in Detroit. We were there helping another dog, a pit bull that had got injured by a car. And little Peanut, we were there actually 3 hours with the pit bull waiting for the dog, the animal control officer, to get there and take it to get help. And it had a broken pelvis, the pit bull did, and it was saved and has a wonderful home now, and it's just a really great happy ending there. But little Peanut, I took him to a groomer friend of mine. Well, roll the video. You can see Peanut here in Detroit and what he looked like before. After we got him home, my friend Kelly and her daughter Kaylin, Kelly owns a pet grooming place, and she was able to give him a total makeover. And if I wasn't watching right then, and saw what was going on with Peanut, I wouldn't have believed it was the same dog. He just total transformation, not only in his attitude, but his looks and everything else. He still has some issues. I'm sure was abused on the streets and has a lot of issues, but we love him, and he's safe and sound in our home here in Michigan.
Well, that's great. And John, I know you do a different type of magic. Tell us about it.
What I do, my comedy, mind reading, mentalism, motivational entertainment show, is very interactive with the audience. So I really don't have anything that I can, like, say, here, think of a card or think of a word, or I'm telling people about themselves here in the interviewing audience. And I know a lot about you, so it seems set up. But what I do have, Greg, is a visual illusion that I think your audience will like. So please go full screen to this, and
we'll do that.
Check it out.
Can we do that? Yep.
What I'd like you guys to do is look at the little cartoon of me in the center. Don't take your eyes off of that. The spiral will be going around and around, but I want you to just focus on that little picture of me in the center of that spiral. I'm going to count backwards from 5 down to 1. When I reach the number 1, something really cool is going to happen. This is going to be so cool that this is what you're going to want to share with your friends. Check it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at the back of your hand now.
Whoa. Wow.
It's pretty wild, huh?
That is
Maybe my face is doing it too.
A little bit.
I hope it worked for you guys. Greg, thank you again so very, very much for having me on.
No problem.
Niagara SPCA Humane Society. Thanks again for all you do for those animals over there in Canada. And best of luck on the rest of the show. Thanks again, Greg.
Thanks
See
a
you
lot.
soon, I hope.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you very much. John Pullum, ladies and gentlemen. That was great. Thanks, John. Wow. Well, that was amazing. Well, once again, thanks a lot, John Pullum. What a great guy, and this is amazing. We're having a great show, and we still got lots more show to go. Don't go away yet. We got lots more show. You want to stay tuned. Check it out. Dan Speery's still in the house. We got Dan to come up. Matt King, Steve Valentine from Crossing Jordan, and a lot of other great TV shows. Pip the Magic Dragon, as you know, and my good friend Lance Burton will be stopping by. So don't go away. Stay tuned. Stay here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, right now, I want to bring on the stage here live a good friend of mine. His name's Lee Asher, and he's a good friend. He's also a great magician. Let's say hi to Lee. Lee, how you doing?
Hey, Greg. Thank you so much for having me. This is a fantastic opportunity for a wonderful cause, so it's my pleasure and honor.
No problem. And Lee, tell the audience at home a little bit about who you are.
Well, I'm kind of modest, and I don't like to float my own boat. So I've brought my assistant with me. She'll tell you. Hey, Alexa, who is Lee Asher?
Lee Asher is a close-up magician noted for originating new card tricks and hypnotic sleight of hand moves.
Wow.
Lee Asher
That's
was
cool.
born in Fort Lauderdale, near
That's good,
Miami
thank you.
in southern Florida.
Okay, that's good, thank
Louise
you.
and her husband.
Okay, Alexa, thank you. Thank you.
Well, Lee, what's your favorite type of magic? Tell us about that.
Well, if I had my choice, it would be playing cards. I am a playing card freak. Anyone that knows me knows I have playing cards from all over the world stacked up to the ceiling in the house. So, yeah, it would probably be playing cards.
Very cool. And Lee, you have a routine that's my favorite, and I asked you to do it today. Could you do that favorite routine of mine for us today?
I'd love to show you that routine. And it uses playing cards.
Cool.
You know, it's very topical right now because everyone's at home passing the time playing cards with each other. So, Greg, you and I are going to play a game. How does that sound? Okay. It's an easy game. It's an easy game. It uses 3 cards, 2 black cards and a red card. Some of you might be familiar with this. It's called 3-card Monte or Follow the Lady. And Greg, that is the goal of the game, is that I'm going to mix these cards around and your job is to follow the lady.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to practice once. This is a practice round.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Where is the queen?
Oh, that's easy. She's in the middle, right there.
Here?
Yep.
Very good. You see how easy this is? Now take
Very
out your
easy.
wallet and let's play for some money.
I don't think so.
I'm kidding. But where I'm not kidding is that you never want to play cards with a magician. Okay? You never, ever, ever want to play cards with a magician. You've been warned. All right, here we go. I'm going to mix them around. Remember, you're looking for the red queen, not the black 3s. So just point to where you think the red queen is.
She's over on the left.
Here?
Yep.
Hey, Alexa, is Greg right?
I've computed the odds and Greg is definitely wrong, ha ha ha. Sorry, Greg.
Sorry, Greg. Man, you were so close.
No.
You were like,
come on.
what?
I think you switched it.
Oh, you thought I
Yeah.
thought I switched the card. Yeah, you see, I did, but for the wrong one, Greg, because the queen's over here. I told you, you never want to play cards with a magician. All right, we'll do it again. I'll make it a little easier for you so you'll get it right. I'm going to take the queen, I'm going to throw her on her side so she's the only one that's horizontal, the other two are vertical.
Okay.
But remember, you do not want to play cards with a magician because they get tricky. So Greg, point to where you think the queen is.
I think the far side again.
Here?
Yep.
Again. That's the one you want?
No, I want the one in your hand.
That's the one you want?
No, the one in your hand.
No, man, I'm trying to help you. That is the one that you want. Never want to play cards with a magician. All right, one more time. You know, I've realized as we play this game that all three of the cards look the same, and that's why you're having a hard time discerning the queen from the threes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to mark the queen in such a way that you'll be able to recognize her from a distance. I don't know if you can see this, but I will go ahead and do this very slowly. Normally you'd be right here. You'd be right in front of me so you can see. But I would let you go ahead and put your finger on this piece right here. And you would hold it as best you could, okay? And now what I will do, I will mix them around. All right, you know what's coming, Greg. You know what's coming. Where is the queen?
Simple, right in the middle. It's got to be, right?
Here?
There's no way that it's not.
I had a feeling that you would say that.
Huh?
And you know, I kept saying, this is why you don't want to play cards with magicians. Here's why. Hey, Alexa, what do you think of that?
I think you just fooled Greg and everyone else watching. Great job, Mr. Asher.
Thank you, Alexa. And thank you, Greg, for allowing me to be on the show tonight. It's been a lot of fun, but we are here for one important reason, and that's to help the animals. So if you can go into the link below in the description and donate, that would mean the world to a lot of people and a lot of animals. So Greg, again, thank you so much for having me, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks a lot. Lee Asher, ladies and gentlemen, he fooled me, and I think his assistant was a great little touch. That was really cool. Well, we're going to keep the show running along. We got a lot more show to go. Don't go away. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button down below and give us a like. And we'll see you in a few weeks, and we'll give you a nice notification on our next show. We got a lot of great show to come. Well, right now, I want to take you and bring you to our next guest and take you to Las Vegas, Nevada, to a very funny man and a good friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen, Mack King. How you doing, Mack?
Hey, Greg, I'm good. I'm here in Las Vegas, and our family's here. My wife is taking a nap. My daughter is FaceTiming with her college roommate, and I'm enjoying not shaving.
Well, we haven't seen each other in a long time. I think since like the World's Greatest Magic Tour.
So, yeah, that's one of my favorite things ever in my whole life. That World's Greatest Magic Tour that we did together back in the 90s. It was great getting to know you and Alana and just hanging out and driving overnight in those buses, zigzagging across the country, not really knowing how it was going to go. It was really quite an adventure, and I was really glad to be a part of it. And now I'm here in Las Vegas, been here just a little over 20 years at Harrah's. 2 shows a day, 5 days a week, so 10 shows a week like a man does. And I love it. It's been the greatest thing for me to be able to be here and home all the time.
Well, that's cool. And Mack, tell us, what is your favorite trick, favorite routine?
Favorite? I don't really have a favorite trick. I kind of like them all. My favorites, if I can say that, are the ones where there is genuine audience interaction. Somebody from the audience standing next to me, genuinely interacting with them or interacting and listening to the entire audience, and going back and forth, that little give and take that happens when you're doing comedy magic, and really paying attention to what the audience does and they're paying attention to what you do. I really love that. The tricks in my act that have a lot of that are my favorites, and that's why it's so weird to be doing magic like this, standing in my house with no feedback from the audience and nobody to interact with. It's really weird.
All right, and you know, you're good friends with Lance. Tell us about your friendship.
Yeah, I mean, Lance and I, we did shows together from the time we met when we were like 14. We started doing shows together when we were like 16 or 17 years old, and we did a number of shows together, and we worked in this amusement park doing 3 shows a day, 7 days a week for a number of years, and it was just, I mean, I don't think either of us would be where we are today without that. I mean, it was so great because we were so different, our styles so different, our personas so different from one another. You know, if I had an idea that wasn't good for me, but maybe was good for him, I would give it to him, and vice versa. If he had an idea that didn't really fit him, but would be good for me, you know, we would share like that. And it was so, I mean, you've been in this situation, you know, it's so great to have somebody whose opinion that you trust watch your show over and over again and give you criticism. It just makes the show, you know, it really does a lot for your show. And Lance Burton, to me, is the greatest magician of my generation, and I believe that it's because of my coaching.
All right, Mac, let's see some magic.
Yeah, let's see what I hit. Thought I'd start out today with a rope trick. This is actually the very first magic trick that I ever saw any magician do. My grandpa taught me this when I was a little boy. This used to be his jacket. My grandmother made this jacket. Used to be her couch. Whenever he would do the trick, my grandpa would always say that the rope had 2 ends and 1 center. Then he'd cut off 1 end of the rope. He'd say, now, I have a piece of rope with just 1 end. Made sense to me too. He cut off that end. He'd say, now I just have the center of the rope. Thank you. He cut off the middle like this. He'd say, now I have no middle and no ends. Okay, I wasn't that stupid. I could tell he still had a piece of rope. You aren't watching carefully. I'll start over. Howdy. I'm Mack King. All right, back to the rope. My grandpa, he would cut the middle like this. He'd say, now I have 2 exactly equal pieces. Oh, mine aren't even close. 2 exactly equal pieces. I don't know how I did that. My grandpa's, his were like this, quite a bit closer. I'll start over. That's 2 ends, and it worked. 2 ends and a center. Do me a favor, you on this side over here, you watch this end of the rope. Over on this side, you folks watch this end. Wait, you're watching this end, but it's already over here with the other one. So I have a piece of rope, 2 ends and a center. The ends are up here, the center's down here, but if we take the ends off, you can't find the center. No one knows. No one knows where the center of the rope is till we put the ends back, and there it is, right in between. See my teeth? Sharp, like a small rodent. Actually a rodent of unusual size. I cut the rope using the vermin-like teeth, tie the 2 pieces together. So we have 2 pieces of rope tied together with a knot. All right, let me get these scissors and really cut this thing apart. Out of there, boys. They're embedded in me. I cut the rope into halves, the halves into fourths, the fourths into eighths, and the eighths into little pieces. Kentucky Public School. That's not a joke. All right, for the big finish, I wave my hand over the 16 little pieces of rope. I say 15 little pieces. Stay there till you learn it. I wave my hand over the 15 pieces. I say the magic words. Quit touching your face. Say the magic words. Quit touching your face, and they all come out in 1 piece. I'm not kidding, these knots come right off. It's a piece of rope, 2 ends, 1 center, and that's the rope trick. Got one last thing for you. A lot of people say there are no cures for the hiccups, but I have invented the Mack King Hiccup Cure. It really works. With a big grocery bag. You put it over your head. You stay right there. Put the bag over your head, and then you spin around till you're really dizzy. Oh yeah, your hiccups are gone. And so am I. Seriously, thank you so much for having me be part of this. This is a great thing you're doing, and I'm really excited to have been a part of it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Mac. Great to have you here, and thanks for being a part of it today. What a great treat. I love Mack King's act and his personality. He's so funny. What a great guy. We got lots more show to go. Don't forget, we still have quite a few acts to come. Steve Valentine, we still have to come up. We also have Dan Speery in just a moment. And don't forget, Pip the Magic Dragon and my special guest, Lance Burton. So don't go anywhere. Don't forget, if you get a chance and you can afford a little extra money right now, hit that donation button down below. A little bit goes a long way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fly right along into our next act. A very good friend of mine. He's a great guy, shock illusionist. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Speery. Dan, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Greg? Everything's good here. Hope everything's good with you, and hope everything's good with everybody watching out there in internet land, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for having me. Coming to you direct from Las Vegas, I'm shock illusionist Dan Speery, and congratulations as well, Greg, on your first sort of live stream special that you did. I'm glad that it was such a success. We're doing it again, and thank you for asking me to come and be a part of this one.
No problem, Dan. And we've known each other for a lot of years, but Dan, tell the home audience your love for animals.
Yeah, so the animal thing is really something that's important to me because I was raised around animals. I grew up around animals. Everybody in my family had animals. Horses, dogs, cats, squirrels, rats, mice, snakes, you name it. I grew up in Minnesota, right? So we had a cabin. Everybody in Minnesota, Wisconsin, whatever, they always have a cabin up north, right? And so in this case, that was my grandparents' house, and we would always gather together there as a family, and we'd have our lake dogs, and then we'd have all our other crazy pets that we'd bring around, and even my cousins at one point, they had found and rescued an abandoned raccoon, a little baby raccoon out in the wild, and they raised it back, and with the help of like Fish and Wildlife, they were able to release it back into the wild. My mother was actually even a world championship quarter horse shower.
Wow.
Or I think that's how you say it. I don't know how to say it, but she did quarter horse shows. You know, whatever that British side saddle thing is, I don't know. I was never really into it, but she was into it, and she placed 13th in the world championship. So she got 13th in the entire world, lucky 13. But I was always around animals and raised to see them as not just pets or whatever, but more so as family members or partners, more importantly. And that's how I see them. I know you and some other folks that we're friends with in the industry know how to treat them and give them the best life that they can have. And honestly, without the birds and other animals, I don't think I'd have the success that I've been able to have, because it was sort of the key that opened the door for me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I know, like I said, I know you see it as well, as seeing them more so as partners. And something else that's really cool about this is I've spent time in the past and even up till currently working with and helping the NSPCA, which is the Vegas chapter of the SPCA, and helping with adoptions and fundraisers and celebrity auctions, raising money and things like that. So it's really cool to ask to be a part of this, and more than happy to be here. It's for a good cause, and it's a great show and a great lineup with everybody.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Dan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to bring to you some great magic by Dan Speery.
Thanks so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for having me, Greg, and thanks for letting me be a part of this. I'm honored to be amongst so many other great magicians on this live stream. Thanks to everybody watching. Anything you got, make sure to drop a bit to donate to the SPCA. And thanks again. We'll see you guys down the way. Stay safe. Enjoy the magic show. Gute Nacht.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Appreciate you being with us today. That was amazing, and we're so lucky to have Dan come out and share his magic with us today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move right along. We got lots more show to go. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. So we'll talk about that a little later. But right now, I want to get right to our next act. He's a great guy, a good friend of mine. I've known him for a lot of years, and you've probably seen him on many TV shows like Crossing Jordan. He's been on House. And he's done several different movies as well. Very popular guy and a great friend. He's also a great magician. Let's say hi. Steve Valentine. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Greg. Hi, guys. How are you? It's great to be here.
Good, good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, right now, I am in the mountains of Canada.
Wow.
In pure isolation. I've been here for the last month with my family. And that's the wife, the kids, my crazy Russian in-laws, and their kids, and there's a whole bunch of us all living in one house, and it's been wonderful. It's been, I think most Stephen King movies start this way, actually. It's been great, loving it. Yeah, but I'm so glad that you asked me to do this, because all work and no play makes Steve a dull boy.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Tell us about being on the House episode.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I actually had a good time doing House. Hugh Laurie, who I'm a huge fan of anyway, is an English, I know him as an English comedian. He was walking around set doing his American accent all day long, which is really weird. I actually wanted to teach him a trick to do on camera, but he just came in and he said the night before he went on YouTube and learned everything he needed to know, which was a bit disconcerting. But he was lovely. Yeah, that was a great experience. I really like doing the card on the glass trick. It's a bit weird to mix acting and magic, but in some ways, a magician is an actor is a magician, so that the arts do kind of cross, you know.
That's true. Do you have some magic with you?
Oh, I've got something I want to show you right here.
You have it here?
From my father-in-law's Russian bar.
Because he's in the mountains, so.
This is. I don't know if you can see this
yep.
where we are, but I want to show you this because this is kind of crazy. This is a Russian bar mat. Okay. Maybe I can move back a little bit further so you can see it. Basically what this does is this captures all the vodka that Russians drink. And then when you want it, all you do is you reach into it, you squeeze it, and then you just pull it out like that, see? It's a trick, who knew? Yeah. This isn't the trick I was going to do for you, by the way. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you this. Cheers. It's water. Vodka. But kids, it's water. And you know, you can get just as drunk on water as you can on land. Did you know that? Let me show you a little something. I was drinking a lot of this, there's a straw here. I was drinking a lot of this water the other day, and the wife said something very interesting. She said to me, she said, you know, behind every successful man, there's a woman yelling, stop stealing my ideas and get out of my way, you misogynistic git. And I thought, that's beautiful. And it's true, isn't it? And I started drinking more of this water, and I came up with a little bit of spoken word, and I wanted to share that with you right now. This isn't the trick I'm going to do for you. I know we can only do one trick. This isn't it, but I just want to just tell you about this. It's a little bit of spoken word. Using a glass of water and straw. Let's see. I call this the Great Escape. Come to the edge. I don't want to. Come to the edge, dear. But I'm scared of heights. Come to the edge. No, I'm good. Harold, come to the edge. I'm not going to push you off. Fine. And so he went to the edge. And they looked over together. And she pushed him. And he flew. With no visible means of support. And I thought, that's kind of like us right now, isn't it? You know? We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We're supporting each other, and yet we're not connected. Unlike Harold, of course, who smashed into the rocks below. Anyway, that's not the trick I wanted to do. I just wanted to share that with you because I know we only have time for the one trick, right? Just got time for the one trick. And I was trying to figure out what to do. And I had an idea. Put my jacket on, trying to look nice and smart for the magic show. I did have an idea. Can I show it to you? Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. I thought maybe a little bit of history. There it is, right, a little bit of history, as you can see. I love a bit of history, and this is very appropriate for today. So, about 100 years ago, a magician by the name of Boutier de Colter invented a trick called the vanishing bird in cage. It was sensational. A bird in a cage vanished in midair. But of course, it was a bit controversial as well. And many people protested the use of the bird in the cage, thinking it got hurt. It didn't, but some people thought that it did, right? So my hero, a magician by the name of Charles Bertram, decided to do the trick without the bird. This was about the late 1800s. He'd walk on stage, this is so cool. He'd walk on stage with an empty bird cage and he would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I've just lost the bird. He flew out of the cage, so I guess I don't need the cage." And then the cage would disappear and people would go nuts. Anyway, he's my hero. I wanted to do a version of this trick for you tonight. But if I was going to do it, it would have to be, I don't know, it'd have to be really controversial, you know. So here's an idea, as a thought I had. I mean, this is more of a, well, if you can see this, what I've caught something inside. You can see that right there. Yeah, that's right. It's an elf. Holidays have been over for months. Yeah, these things are still infesting the house. But you put a trap down and you just sing a couple of Christmas carols. Next thing you know, you've got one of these. So anyway, what I wanted to do was send him back to the North Pole. On the count of 3, I'm going to say, "Oi, elf, get off that shelf." And he's going to go back. Now, parents, you're really going to appreciate this. Kids, you're going to be scarred for life. Okay, here we go. Ready? On the count of 3. I'll stand back here. Here we go. Watch the cage. Just make sure I don't throw it on the floor. I'll stand further back so you can see I'm not going to throw it on the floor. Ready, ready, ready. Oi, elf, get off that shelf. Hop! Yes, it's gone. It's gone. Not up the sleeves. I'm way too excited for that trick. Anyway, that was something I thought I could do. But then again, I don't know, because history, as soon as you mention the word history, people are going to want to switch off, and we want you to stick around, right? Because this is, we want you to donate. We're trying to raise money for the SPCA. So maybe not that trick. Maybe if my one trick, I know, I could do this. I've got this. I thought I could teach you guys how to do a trick. I mean, you're watching from home right now. I'm sure you'd love to learn the secret of a trick. Problem is, I'm not usually the kind of magician who exposes a trick. That kind of magician is usually a bit insecure. They'll tell you the secret, any secret of any trick, because they're desperate. Desperate to connect with you, desperate to be loved, desperate to be liked, desperate for likes at Steve Valentine. I would never stoop so low as to expose the secret of a trick. But if I did, it would look like this. Okay? All right. Hey, you know that, ladies and gentlemen, you know that trick that magicians do where they take a card like this and they go, and the whole thing just disappears like that. Do you know that trick? Would you like to know how that works? Would you? If I tell you, would you promise to love me? Would you? Okay, so here's the secret of the trick, right? I'm going to show you with a whole bunch of these cards here. These will be good. So the idea is this. Obviously, the cards don't disappear. That would be impossible. What actually happens is that you take the cards and you squeeze them like this. And they get a little bit smaller. Isn't that cute? Aren't they cute? I know. Thank you. It's a guy thing. So once they, obviously you don't stop right here. You take the hand. It's all about the heat of the hand. Give the cards a little squeeze. Just like this, and they get a little bit smaller still. I know what you're thinking, are the cards shrinking or is the camera moving further away? Now, you remember the size of the cards that we started with, right? I mean, come on, this is shrinkage you can be proud of. I know there's a lady in Calgary right now who's like, "I'm sorry, lady, you cannot have this for your husband. I don't care if I remind you of your husband." They take the cards, here we go, they're about this size. Okay, give them another little bit of squeeze. Squeeze. They get even smaller, right? You know what I mean? And then once they get this small, you give them another little squeeze, they get even smaller. And another little squeeze, they get even smaller. And then what you do is you squeeze them so hard. Eventually what happens is they get so small, they look like they disappear. That's how it's done. Love me. Again, I'm not going to show you that because I think it's tacky. See, the problem is this. There are so many tricks that I could do for you guys right now, so many techniques, so many styles of magic. You're going to see a whole bunch today. I mean, I wrote a bunch down on some scraps of paper here. I thought, you know, there's scraps of, this is an old Disney poster that I hacked, that I cut to pieces while I was up here in the farm. And, you know, you've seen magicians, they're magicians, they're loud and aggressive. You've seen those guys, some are shocking. You see Dan Speery, he's shocking. There's soft and quiet, that's the technique. Tell a story, well, I already told you a story. You can be gross, I'm not going to do that. You can expose a secret of it. There's so many different techniques. It's really hard to choose. For me, I think, quite honestly, that the perfect trick would be something that combines a little bit of everything. Something that merges all of those ideas, that fuses them all into one little single piece of magic. This isn't it. I just thought that's really what the perfect trick would be. Actually, I think I do know what it is. A little bit of mind reading, a little bit of mentalism. Yeah, hold on. Haha! This is perfect. If I was going to read minds, this is how I would do it. First of all, I've got a little card box right here. These are exactly how you get them from the factory. You fold them together like that, a little bit of origami, and then snap of the fingers, and you get the deck of cards. What does that have to do with mind reading, I hear you ask? Not a damn thing. But now we are going to read some minds. I'm going to riffle the cards like this in front of the lens. Come a little closer, please. Yes, get off the couch. We're going to connect. We're going to do some mind reading right now. I want to get to know you. I want to reach out and I want to touch you. Not you, but yes, maybe you. Come a little bit closer. Yes, come up to the lens, up to the camera. Come really, really close. We're going to do this together. Are you ready? Now, obviously, I can't have you pick a card. That's impossible. But I can have you think of one, and I can read your mind. Yes, you. Put your chips down. I don't care if you're naked. It doesn't matter. Come closer. Right. As I riffle the cards in front of the lens like this, I just want you to look at the cards and think of one. One card only. Okay, ready? Got one? All right. Most of you thought of a black card. A couple of you thought of red cards, right? Okay, for the red person, come closer. The red person, it's a diamond. It's the ace of diamonds, am I right? If you picked the ace of diamonds, if that was your card, or you chose a red card and it was the ace of diamonds, what I would love you to do right now is pick up the phone, go call the SPCA and donate at least $100. If you didn't pick an ace of diamonds, donate $500 because you screwed up the trick. Now, those of you who thought of a black card, let me see. I don't know. It's going to be tricky. Send me your thoughts. Send me your thoughts. Spade. King of Spades. If you thought of the King of Spades, pick up the phone, call the SPCA, donate $100. Yes, you know you did. See, there's a problem with this. And the problem is this. And I can't really do mentalism like this because only you and I know that the trick worked, right? No one else knows. That's no good. That's no good. That's no good. I can't do that. I know. Can I be serious for a moment? Okay, I'm back. Actually, what I want to say is this. We're here for a very special cause, right? We're here to raise money for the SPCA. And so the piece that I think I need to do for you tonight has got to be pure sleight of hand, obviously no camera tricks, and it has to have a message. It has to have all of these elements we've been talking about, but most of all, it has to have a message. And I can't hit you over the head with that message. It has to be subliminal. It has to be subtle. And I think this is the way that we're going to do it. So check it out. I've got some cards right here. These are going to be perfect. I've got some jacks. So come over to the close-up table and let me show you the trick that I'm actually going to do.
Wow, he's got a little more magic for us. This is awesome. I think he's going to get a different camera angle and get some close-up magic. Wow, that was amazing. And I want to thank Steve again for being here. Steve?
So there you have it. That's the trick I'm going to do for you. I hope you enjoyed it. My name's Steve Valentine, and back to you, Greg.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Good luck with everything. You're doing a great thing.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of the show, everybody. Bye for now.
Appreciate it. Steve Valentine, ladies and gentlemen. That was incredible. That was a lot of... Where's he going?
Oh, my knees.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it right here, Steve Valentine, and we appreciate him being on the show today. And we got lots more show to go. We're almost at the end, but I wanted to once again just acknowledge why we're here for the Niagara SPCA Humane Society. Check this out.
As you know, our shelters are closed to the public currently, but I do want to let you know that our animal care staff are still inside the shelters providing excellent care to the animals. I just want to give a big shout out to all of our shelter staff that are continuing to come to work. Also, I would like to say thank you to all the other animal care staff in animal shelters throughout the province who continue to work the front lines each and every day, providing care for the animals. It's what we do in times of struggles like these that will define us. Our commitment to you is that we will continue to look after the animals of Ontario. Should the need arise, we do have a large number of emergency foster homes in place if any of our shelters did have to close and staff were unable to attend. Just to reassure everyone, we're still here.
Well, thank you very much from the Niagara SPCA Humane Society. That was awesome, and we appreciate you allowing us to come and help out, and all the magicians around the world that have done this today. I want to thank you all. We're getting near the end of our show. We still have a little more to go, but don't forget, subscribe down at the bottom so we can make sure you're aware of our other shows coming up. And while I'm on that topic, my good friend John Durenboss, who you saw on the first one, is coming back on our third one Wednesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. And we're going to do a magic trick from 2 different cities, but we're going to do it together. It's going to be really cool, so make sure you check that out. Well, we're going to finish, getting close to finishing off here today with a good friend of mine, and he's a really great guy. Not only that, you've probably seen him on many different TV shows, including America's Got Talent. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to the stage my good friend Pip the Magic Dragon. Pip, how are you?
We're doing very well here in Las Vegas. We built a little TV studio in the garage, so now we can still do shows and things, except now we do them on Facebook with everyone 6 feet away, apart from Jade, because her and I have, well, let's just say we're already sharing the same, you understand.
I think I do. Tell us about your journey on AGT.
We love doing AGT. We got to travel all over America touring, and we got our own show in Las Vegas at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino nightly, 8 p.m. Except when there's a global pandemic, then we have no shows.
Wow. And Mr.Piffles is there. What's his favorite food?
What do you love, buddy? Chicken. Oh, yeah. He loves chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Just raw, unfiltered, fresh chicken. That's all he loves.
Well, that's great. And how old is Mr. Piffles? What's his age?
Mr. Piffles is 12. He'll be 13 this November. He's a rescue dog. It's cheaper. They're giving them away. He is from Dundee in Scotland, and his favorite hobby is sleeping. He sleeps about 25 hours a day on a bad one.
Well, that is great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my good friend Pip the Magic Dragon.
Hello, it's Pip the Magic Dragon, Mr. Piffles, and Jade Simone coming to you during this time off. Now, Mr. Piffles has been putting his time to good use by learning to draw. That's right, a drawing dog. He's going to do some lovely art for us this evening. And what do we have for him to work with today, Jade? Oh, a chalkboard, his preferred medium. That's right. He doesn't like canvases anymore, not after he ran out of yellow paint. We got one little chalkboard over here. It's like an iPad, but you can't swipe with it. We got another little chalkboard over here because he's going to do 2 pictures for you this evening. That's right, 2 pictures for the price of, am I getting paid for this? 0 then, 0. Now, we have a little piece of chalk for Mr. Piffles just over here. So we're going to place Mr. Piffles on this table, and we're going to give him his little chalk. All right, sit there, buddy. Sit. Don't jump. It's not worth it. All right, now we're going to cover Mr. Piffles up with this lovely little flag over here. So, Jay, take a little hold of that. Lovely. All right, Mr. Piffles, off you go. Take it away. Yeah, he's drawing. Usually it's about 30 to 40 minutes for the first outline, and then he goes, and over the next 9 days he sort of really fills in those details. But oh, I think it's finished today, Jade. Let's see how Mr. Piffles did. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at that, a little picture of Jade Simone, and it really is quite a lifelike picture there, Jade. You could use that as a passport image, maybe. So, all right, let's have another go, Mr. Piffles. This time he's going to draw a lovely picture of his best friend. That's me. So that's right. Off you go there. Jade, you want to get the chalkboard? Oh, don't. Where are you going, buddy? That's it. There's your little chalk. Don't lose that. You good? And that's it. I'm going to take this. Off you go whenever you're ready, Mr. Piffles. Take it away. Now, the most impressive thing here is how a dog is able to hold a piece of chalk without thumbs. Oh, sounds like you finished. Let's adopt a dog. Cats have COVID. Wow. I'd like to apologize on behalf of Mr. Piffles. He's a terrible, terrible dog. And okay, Jade's forgiven him. So I guess we all can. We can all move on. Thanks very much, Greg.
Hey, no problem, Piff. Thank you very much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Pip the Magic Dragon. That was incredible. And Mr. Piffles, he was here live on our stage. How cool was that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great a show so far, and we've got a little more to go. We're almost at the end. It's been a little longer today because we've been requested to have a little more magic in our show. So we thought we'd add a little more magic today. So we're going to keep moving on. And right now I have a special guest that couldn't be on live with us today. His name's Lance Burton. He is a master magician. He's been all over the world. He had his own show in Las Vegas for almost 25 years. He's a dear friend of mine, and I want you guys to see this. It's really cool, so check it out.
Hi, I'm Lance Burton. I'm standing in the middle of the Nevada desert, just outside Las Vegas, the magic capital of the world. On a clear day, you can see for 100 miles in every direction. And when you're in a magical place like this, it's a good idea to keep your eyes open at all times. You never know what's going to happen. Come on, let's get started. Hi, I'm Lance Burton in Las Vegas. I was recently contacted by my good friend Greg Frewin, who's on the board of the Niagara region SPCA. I'm so happy to hear you guys are doing this. I love magic, but I also love animals. And I want to try a little magic trick with you guys at home. Think of a playing card. Just get one of these cards in your mind and decide now. Don't change your mind. Don't tell anyone what your card is. I'll look through and I'll try to find it. Okay, this is it. I'll remove one card. I hope that's the card you were thinking of, and I hope I was successful, that I did remove the card you were thinking of. And if I was successful, do me a favor. Donate. If you can't donate, adopt. If you can't adopt, foster, volunteer. If you can't do any of those things, just please help spread the word. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Lance Burton, for being with us tonight. That was awesome. And it's cool. You guys got to do a bit of magic right in your living room. How cool is that? Well, we're going to finish off tonight. And before we go, I just want to thank all the magicians that were on the show tonight. What a great lineup we had with some great magic. And I also want to announce 2 weeks from now, Wednesday, April 29th at 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing the third International Stars of Magic. And we've got acts from all over the world, including a special treat. We have AGT winner Shin Lim will be here live on our stage. From his home to our home, it'll be a lot of fun. So tune in for that. And don't forget, subscribe right down below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll get a notification and leave us a nice, good like, because I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Well, we're going to finish off with one of my favorite illusions. And when I was young, I got to travel and perform all around the world. I got to go some great places, and one of my favorites was Japan. While I was in Japan, I saw this guy take a very big piece of paper, he folded it down very small. They call it the art of origami. Thank you very much. We hope you guys had a great night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, April 29th, 7 p.m. right here. Have a good couple of weeks. See you then.